final respondability in the series for the pajama effect is the ability to align your connections. Aligning your connections in the virtual world is very important. You need to align them with your priorities and with results. It's very possible in this environment to stay connected all day, every day. And every single day, there's new tools available, new tools invented that will allow you to connect differently to people in this environment. But before you connect, you want to think. You want to think, what kind of connection are you having? Why are you connecting? What's the purpose? So let's take a look at how to align your connections when you work from home so that they support and they don't hinder your results. Here we go. The fifth and final respondability, align connections, on the series of 5 respondabilities in the pajama effect, is all about using all of the connections that we have in the virtual world to help you get done what you want to get done. The environment is geographically detached but virtually connected, which means we have all the challenges of connecting globally. We have challenges with the technology, we have challenges with the time zone, we have challenges with culture and communication styles. So that's why it's really important to identify ways to align how you're connecting. Just because you can connect in a certain way doesn't mean you should. Aligning connections has to do with how you connect. What's the purpose of the connection? How much is too much connection? When do we reach out for help? How do we know that we're connecting in the way that we need to? How much do we know about a project? How much do others know? What information do we have? What information is missing? Should we use Facebook to connect? Or maybe we want to use another more private kind of tool for conversation. The bottom line is that if you don't align your connections, your success can definitely be derailed. This is just an example of the multitudes of where and how and when we can connect in a relatively flat world. In that you can connect with people here that in ways that you normally wouldn't. You know, I mean, we have people in high political offices who are broadcast tweeting. Those are connections that we didn't have to analyze or deal with even a few years ago. And it requires, most of all, a new way of listening. It's very important to listen very carefully in this environment. And it's not easy. It's much easier to listen in a face-to-face kind of environment because you have visual cues along with the auditory and a different level of energy. Connecting in this environment, you have to listen actively, you have to be responsive, you have to be reflective. Sometimes you need to say back to people what they've said to you to make sure that you get the meaning that they want you to get. And you also have to have what I call the X factor, which is sort of an intuitive sense of listening. Realize that a lot of times in this environment, you're blending different things. You're blending work and play. So if you're at the beach and you're on your computer and you're working, are you at the beach or are you working? How are you connected? Because this directly affects your connection with you. What you can wind up doing in this environment is not being connected really to anything anywhere. You're not really here and you're not really there. This allows you to derail your own success. The environment is fast. It can be very impulsive. You can order things or do things or buy things or react to things so quickly in this environment. It's instantaneous. You can say things much more quickly than you might in a face-to-face environment where you might step back a little and think, which is what you need to do here. You don't want to derail your success by connecting in ways that don't support you. So the important thing here is to connect with yourself first, and then connect with everybody else. Ask yourself, how will this be interpreted? Am I using the language I want to use? Is this coming across the way I want it to come across? Is it coming across in a way that's beneficial to me? Communication skills in the digital workplace are much more complex than a face-to-face environment. It's not a one person out. When you lead a team or you're on a team in a virtual environment, you have all kinds of methods to communicate. You can use email, which is formal, indirect communication. You can use text, which is informal, indirect communication. You can use all kinds of different methods, and therefore the restrictions are gone. So before you forward that email to 30 people because you hit reply all, think about, is that really what you want to do, or do you want to really just respond to one person? You also have to consider cultural barriers and challenges in communication, particularly if you're talking about communicating with people globally. The way you address people, the level of respect, the kinds of language, formal and informal language that you use in the workplace. And there is absolutely no shortage of technology, and more coming every day in so many different ways. So you want to align the technology that you're using in support of your workplace. If your employer or you decide to use one type of virtual platform for video chat, or one type for text communication, or be consistent. It's not about the technologies. The technologies are here to support the communication, and that's all about you. So how are you connecting? Are you connecting for a meeting deadline? Do you have a question? Are you sharing something good? Are you telling somebody about your feelings? Are you yelling at someone? Are you making personal announcements? Are you brainstorming a new approach? Are you responding to an angry email? Think about how you're connecting, when you're connecting, and then what medium you're using to put that message across. Do you wear a white shirt? There used to be a day when you went to work for certain corporations, and you were a male, you were expected to wear a white shirt, oftentimes a tie and a blazer. And what that did is that set the tone for your communications. You were a professional when you walked in this outfit. So I think when you communicate online and you align your connections from a professional standpoint, you want to make sure that you sound like a professional communicating, that the times are appropriate, that the medium you use to communicate is appropriate for the message you want to deliver. The book, The Pajama Effect, has exercises and case studies that you can use to help you align those communication skills, to take a look and analyze when yours might be a little off or your team's might be a little off, and maybe you want to improve. So with that, I end the Respond-Ability series here with the last one, Align Your Connections. I thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you soon.